Hare Krishna. In this world, anything you do for a prolonged period of time, you face challenge. Say, for example, you take a brick and hold it in the hand. It is easy to hold. But if you are holding for a continued period of time, it causes pain in the hand. And your hand starts shaking after some time and then you may give it up. Similarly, the material desires, when you possess material desires, initially it looks very titillating and enjoyable. But over a period of time, the material desires become burdensome. Like you can say Ajamila, he got into a promiscuous relationship with a prostitute. Initially it was titillating and he was bringing her to his home and then produced children. But later on it became a big burdensome thing for him. He produced so many products of sin. And the whole material attachment sat on his shoulder. Practically he could not escape from that. He became attached to that bad association and became degraded up to the point of being dragged to the Yamaloka by Yamadutas. Fortunately, due to a past incident of giving the name of Narayana to his son and calling, that one sincere, loud, inoffensive call saved him from the deadly situation. Otherwise, you can see in this world, maintaining material attachments over a period of time makes it very burdensome. In the same manner, starting spiritual life is very easy, but maintaining spiritual life over a period of time is very challenging. Why it is challenge? Because we tend to take the spiritual gifts for granted, which very easily come, the association of devotees, the chanting of the holy name, Japa, the transcendental knowledge which we get from Srila Prabhupada's books, and the morning routine of varieties of prayers and activities we do. As we keep doing them over a period of time, it can become monotonous, hackneyed, stereotyped, and we can become neglectful and inattentive. But in the beginning you will see, whenever new boy comes, he finds the dancing and chanting very ecstatic and prasadam ecstatic and devotee is very wonderful. Everything appears very colorful and wonderful in the beginning. But over a period of time, one may become neglectful and careless and one may find it routine or monotonous. And why does that happen? Why does that freshness in our spiritual approach not remain? The reason for that is material outlook. Irresponsible behavior, material outlook, offensiveness towards devotees and spiritual activities, or doing them for some material motives. See, material outlook and material motives are different. So material outlook means not seeing spiritual things spiritually and material things materially. You see the spiritual items materially. That is material outlook. Material motives means what material benefit can I get from spiritual activities. So these kind of approaches, and also pride, false pride, arrogance, all these things make the spiritual life also very challenging. So therefore, although there are many parameters, in essence, two things are emphasized in order to avoid the 10 offenses against the holy name. One is neglect, another one is offensiveness. Like you will see all the 10 offenses, it says don't offend devotees, don't offend spiritual master, don't offend the scriptures, don't offend Krishna. So these kind of things we are hearing in the first 3 offenses. Similarly, first you have 4. First 1, 2, 3 is Hari, Guru, Vaishnavas, and 4th is Vedas. So don't offend them. That's what it's saying. And then 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. These 4 offenses, if you see, don't take the holy name for granted. Don't take it cheaply. Because 5th offense says, Don't underestimate the power of the holy name. Don't misinterpret the holy name. Don't abuse the holy name. Don't underestimate the holy name like some material ritual. So all these things are again talking about not being neglectful. First four talk about not being offensive. Next four talk about not being neglectful or inattentive. Then the ninth offense talks about not glorifying the holy name in the presence of materialistic fellows, which means those who are offending the holy name. It's like handing over a tender child to a terrorist. One should not do that. One should only see the qualification of the receiver of the holy name and then give it. The 10th one talks about holding on to material attachments, which again is foolish attachment, false attachment. That attachment will leads to bondage. So you will see that offensiveness towards spiritual items and neglect to properly take advantage of the spiritual items. So this is called as offense of commission, offense of omission, we call it. Offense of commission is well known. Offense of omission is often not known. Gajendra, in the previous life, Indradumna Raja did offense of omission. And also Indra neglected his spiritual master. Offense of omission again. Indra's neglect, Indradumna Raja's neglect, Ajamala's neglect in spiritual discipline. All these things are examples of how somebody can become neglectful. So, a neglect to perform the spiritual rituals very attentively and carefully. When we perform them superficially, we don't get the taste. It's like in the ocean. You go on the surface of the ocean, you get fishes. When you go deep in the ocean, you get diamonds. Ratnas you get. So in spiritual life, we are coasting in that surface. We will never be able to experience the real joy of spiritual life. When one takes the spiritual life seriously, dives deeper. Like on Ekadashi day, you are chanting many rounds, you cannot run away. You can't just finish off and run away immediately. Other days, 16 rounds, they may chant in 1 hour also and run away. There are people who do that. Very, very fastly, they 4 manis you move in one mantra. Somehow I finished and ran away. But Ekadashi day you cannot do that. Chant 64 rounds, 32 rounds, just sit. Today there is nothing else to do. Somebody asked Prabhupada how to do Kartika Vrata. Prabhupada said, you are asking how many rounds to chant? He said, yes. Never keep the bead bag down, he said. Keep the bead bag all day in the hand, just keep chanting. There is nothing else to do. So, here is a concluding point. When we are not attentive enough in spiritual life, when we are careless, when we are neglectful, when we want to hasten the spiritual practices, considering the material, then one should change that wrong attitude by spending all day in spiritual life. Today is, that's why they are called Madhava Tithi, Bhakti Janani, Yatane Palana Kori. Which means Madhava Tithi is a spiritual day, festival days, spiritual days. Bhakti Janani, they are powerful enough to increase our bhakti in our heart. Yatane Palana Kori. One should make endeavors, spiritual endeavors, peacefully focusing. Everything else should be thrown to wind. And one should take spiritual life as life and soul, and slowly, carefully, attentively, with a one-pointed focus, with no other aim in mind or life, keeping spiritual practice as foremost, then one's absorption in the spiritual life will gradually increase, cleansing all the material attachments. So the chanting of the holy name is a very glorious activity, but it has to be performed in a certain manner for it to produce the desired result. Harinam Prabhu ki